Right girls, in my video today I'll be showing you how to make dal puri. My youngest daughter wanted dal puri for breakfast today, but unfortunately I didn't have any, so I promised her I'll make some for her tomorrow. So what you're going to need half a cup of lentils. You're going to wash that a couple of times until it gets clean, and then you're going to soak it in water for about half an hour. You're going to need 2 cloves of garlic, 3 or 4 fresh chilies chopped up, half an onion, handful of coriander. The spices you're going to need are half a teaspoon of coriander powder, turmeric powder, 1/4 spoon of cumin powder, and then 1/4 teaspoon of garam masala. You're gonna need some salt and like 1.5 cups of water to boil your lentils in. So that's the filling. Now for the dough, you're going to need 2 cups of plain flour. You're going to need about 2 tablespoons of cooking oil and salt. But I'll show you how to do the dough later. Let's start with cooking the lentils and frying the fillings. So I've got here my lentils. Over here I've already boiled my lentils, and the water has absorbed, and as you can see they're gone mushy and quite transparent, so I know it's cooked now. So I'm just going to turn the heat off, and I'm going to leave that aside whilst I fry my onions and the rest of the spice. So I already did that process, the boiling process, just to speed everything up. Right, I've got here a pan on heat. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. And I'm gonna add my garlic. With the garlic, I'm going to cook my onions. There we go. Mix them. Right, I'm going to cook them until they go soft and change color a bit to brown before adding the rest of the ingredients. Add about half a teaspoon of salt. There. And cook that. Once the onions have softened, add your spices. So I've got 1/4 teaspoon of garam masala. I'm going to add there. 1/4 teaspoon of cumin powder, which is zira powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric powder. That's haldi powder. And don't forget your chilies, girls. Give them all a mix. To that, I'm gonna add my cooked lentils. So your cooked lentils, add them all in. Give it a mix. Taste it to see if it's got enough salt in, and then add your coriander to that. There we go. And I'm going to cook that until the lentils dries up a bit more. When it gets, you know, like into one lump. For the dough now, dough mixture, I've got plain flour. You're going to need 2 cups of plain flour. So that's 1 cup. And that's the 2nd cup. You're going to need 1 teaspoon of salt. There it goes. And 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. So I've got here 1 and 2 tablespoons of cooking oil, and then with clean hands mix it together. So give it all a mix. Like that. The oil has formed lumps with the flour, so try to break the lumps up as much as you can. And then you're going to need about 150 milliliters of room temperature water. You might need more, you might need less. It depends on your flour. So add a bit at a time, so you don't regret it. So I've got my room temperature water here. I'm just going to add a bit at a time to form a dough. If sometimes you feel like it's gone a bit too sticky, then just add a bit more flour. Right. I probably need just a bit more flour. So I'm just going to add a tablespoon of flour to this, and then just mix. So I guess I needed just a little less than 150 milliliters. So give it a good mix. After it's gone smooth like this, keep it in the bowl and then cover it up with a tea towel and leave it aside for about 20 minutes. So my dough has been resting for 20 minutes now. It will go a bit more soft, but don't worry, that's the way it should be. So make sure you've got a clean surface there where you're going to roll out your dough. I've got my lentil mixture ready in a bowl. I've got my rolling pin ready, and I've got some oil ready. So for this rolling, you're not going to be rolling with dried flour, you're going to be rolling with cooking oil. So give it another knead like this. And then you're going to divide the mixture, the dough I mean, like that, and you're going to make small balls out of them about that size. You're probably thinking, why all this hassle? Why not just buy them ready-made ones? But if you love baking like I do, you're going to find that suggestion ridiculous, because the whole fun is baking, and then that way you're in control of the taste and the spice. Like if you like spicy food, make your dal puri spicy. You can add vegetable to this if you want to as well, but since it's a lentil puri, I'm just going to keep it simple and just add lentils. So I've made about 10, I think 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, yeah, 10 balls from this. So roll each one out like that, and then get yourself a plate like this, and then roll each one and place each ball and have them covered whilst you fill each one with your lentil fillings. Make sure you cover them, otherwise they do get a bit hard, and you want to keep them soft like that. You can make them as small or as big as you want, but I think the smaller they are, the cuter they are. Last one. Right, I'll keep one there. Move that bowl out of the way. And I'm going to keep that aside and cover it like that. Now get your ball, flatten it out like that. You can flatten it with your thumbs like that. Get your filling, and then like half a teaspoon or 1 teaspoon, put it at the center of your ball like that, and then pull the sides up and join them together like that to form a ball, and then just roll it out to smoothen the surface like that. try and be gentle, because if you do press very hard it might break and the fillings might come out. So get some oil and just lightly cover the ball with the oil, and then get your rolling pin and gently roll the ball like that. Don't press too hard, like I said, the fillings might come out and you don't want that. And just roll it out until you get a nice circle shape. You don't want it too flat. If you roll it out too flat, then the fillings will come out. Like that. So I'm happy with that. You can just about see the fillings inside. That's when you should stop rolling. It might not be a perfect circle, but it doesn't matter. See? And that's the thickness you want. Now do that to all your dough. What you can do, you can cook it straight away. If you're having it straight away, deep fry it in hot oil, or like what I'm going to do, because it's for breakfast, tomorrow's breakfast, I'm going to put it in a plate, put parchment paper on top, then I put another dal puri so they don't stick together, and I'm going to freeze it in the freezer. And you can freeze it up to 2 weeks if you want, even more than that. And then when you decide to have one, just get it half an hour out before your breakfast time or before you eat it. It'll defrost, and then just deep fry it. So I've got here my plate, my parchment paper, and I'm just going to put that on top of the parchment paper, and I'll show you another one. So roll it out, just flatten it with your palm, and then use both your fingers to spread it out. You can, like I said before, use different fillings for this. You can use coconut, you can use vegetable, you can make aloo puri. Just make your fillings, whatever fillings you want. I normally, when I make lentils, when I make dhal, and it's gone dried up after like second day, nobody wants it, so I just cook it to dry it up more and then use it for my dal puri, so that nothing goes waste. So there you go. Pull each side up like that. I'll add a bit more there, and then join the edges together like that. Flatten it with your palm, brush some oil both sides, and then just roll it out. See, I can just about see the fillings inside, which they're going to come out. So that's my sign of stopping. You can just about see the fillings coming out, and there you go, guys. So get more parchment paper, put a piece out, put it on top of your other one, and then place that one on top of the parchment paper. And then you can put them in a Ziploc bag and then freeze it, or just keep it in a plate, cling film it, and then put it in the freezer. So that's my dal puri, girls. Do give it a go. I'm not going to deep fry it today, but for deep frying, all you do, how you fry chips in deep oil, just deep fry it until it's a bit golden on both sides, and that's it. But if you're lucky, I might just show you one, but you have to carry on watching my video. Right, girls, you really didn't think I was going to put them all in the freezer without showing you one, did you? No way. You have to at least have one. How can you not? So I've got my deep oil, hot oil there. I'm just going to place one gently in the oil. And it will puff up. There we are. Just push it down under the oil like that, and eventually the whole puri will puff up. Isn't that a pretty sight? Turn it over and let it go slightly brown on each side before getting the puri out. Switch the flame off, and that is how you make dal puri, girls. Get yourself a plate with tissue in it like that. There's no way I'm gonna have a taste of that now because it's piping hot. I'm just gonna let it cool down a bit before digging into it. Let's cut into it. Can you see how crispy that is? Doesn't that look tasty? Bismillah. Now that is one tasty dal puri, even if I have to say so myself. That is beautiful. So enjoy making your dal puri, girls. Have a good day.